All right, hello, welcome back to our training on how to use Odoo ERP, the finance and accounting modules. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at is under vendors. Let's look at what we call employee expense. Let me explain this a bit, although I won't fully complete so you understand how it works. So employee expenses is if you have now if this had been properly set up, if it was not just a training, sorry, you have different users, right? On it. You have users, you have like maybe accounting clerk, different people in the accounting. In fact, because an ERP, you can have different departments have it. And so when an employee, let's say somebody in marketing spends money, they can claim money using this what? Using this ERP. So this is what employee expense is about. So let me show you how it works. So you just come to new, okay? So it's going to ask you the expense that the person wants to claim, the employee wants to claim for. So let's say the person travel to Abuja for marketing, so transport to Abuja, okay, and wants to reclaim or get reimbursement for what he spent. So transport to Abuja, okay. Which date did it have? Let's put this date. Then who is the manager? You can see that because I've not set anybody, it's putting me as the manager, okay, because this is just I'm the only user for now, okay. Then as they go to how much is the total. So let's say the person spent 120,000 as total to and fro for transportation and wants to claim it. Let's assume that there's no VAT on it, just 120,000, okay. Then it's going to ask me which employee. Like I said, I've not created it. So if it has been created, I'll just pick the employee, can just pick so we create an employee, do you understand? And then the employee claims it. Then which account is it going to? Remember, I've told you, but for now you have to create. If we have imported our chart of account or we have our ledgers, we have a specific ledger for transportation that we're going to put this. Then you can see here that it's asking the person to attach receipt, which is normal. There should be something to back up whatever the person is claiming, maybe the approval to travel and all those other things, okay. Then once the person is done, the person will what? Submit. Once the person submit, it goes to let's say I'm the manager, it goes to my desk and then I will approve. So once it has been approved, it will come here. Once the person approves, the person also clicks on what? Confirm. It will be posted. And then for the payment, I'm sure you understand how to do our payments. Now you go to your bank column and then you recognize your payments and you reconcile it from there. So that's how that actually works. That's how that works. So that's how to use the employee expenses on this ERP. All right, thank you.